Friday, August 28th, 2026. Scripture: Ezekiel 47, 13-23. Key verses. 13. This is what the Sovereign Lord says. These are the boundaries of the land that you will divide as an inheritance among the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph will receive 2 shares. 21. You must divide this land among the tribes of Israel as their inheritance. 22. You must also give a share of the land to the foreigners who have settled among you and have children. You must treat them like native-born Israelites. They will receive an inheritance with you among the tribes of Israel. Meditation. God tells Israel the boundaries of the land and how it should be divided. One very interesting part is that God tells them to give an inheritance even to foreigners who have settled among them and raised their children there. For the Israelites living as exiles, far away from home, hearing that a land was already being prepared for them, that may have sounded like an impossible dream. It may have seemed too good to be true. But at the same time, this promise may have given them hope and confidence that one day they would return and be restored. Many centuries later, during the Zionist movement and the establishment of Israel in 1948, passages from Ezekiel were often used to support the idea of the Jewish people returning to their ancient homeland. But there is something very interesting in today's passage. God tells Israel to share the inheritance even with foreigners who have settled among them and raised their families there. This was not a completely new principle. Even in the Old Testament law, God told Israel not to mistreat foreigners, but to love them and allow them to take part in the life and worship of the community. But in Ezekiel, God goes one step further. He tells Israel to treat these foreigners like native-born Israelites, and even give them a share of the land as an inheritance. Israel was descended from Abraham and had received the promised land from God. Yet because of their own sin, they lost that land. And when God promised to restore them and give the land back, He made one thing clear. They were not receiving it again because they deserved it. In Ezekiel 36, God says that He would restore Israel not because of what they had done, but for the sake of His holy name. So how could the Israelites say to the foreigners, "We were born with the right to receive this land, but you are not"? They had received the land by God's grace in the first place, and after losing it, they were now receiving it again by God's grace. There is a deep principle here. Those who have been restored by grace should not keep God's grace as their own special privilege. Everything is by grace. This grace is not my privilege. It cannot belong only to me. As my children grow up, one day they will have their own spouses, and our family inheritance will also be shared with them. I pray that this whole process will happen according to God's will. What God has given our family is also a gift of grace. I pray that His grace will continue to flow through our family to the people and generations He brings into it.